I can make money here, I can solve problems here, and I'm passionate. I can be passionate here. Passion, problem, and payment. And in the middle is this entrepreneurial sweet spot here. So your entrepreneurial sweet spot is a compromise between the thing that you're passionate about, the problem that you can solve, and the payment that you can collect. Now, if you're passionate and you're getting paid, but you're not solving a problem, that's unethical. If you are passionate and you're solving a problem, but you're not getting paid, that's unrewarding. If you're solving a problem and getting paid, but you've got no passion for it, it's unfulfilling. You don't want to follow your passion because that feels intense. The intensity of passion will take you out of the entrepreneur sweet spot. You don't want to necessarily just chase the problem because it'll take you out of the sweet spot. We're looking for a holistic feeling, just kind of like it's that warm sit by the fire feeling where you could sit there for a long time. It's not too intense. It's not too hot. It's not a blazing bonfire where you kind of have to take a step back. It's that warmth of like, yeah, this is comfortable. I like this. This is good. I could stay in this. I can make money here. I can solve problems here, and I'm passionate. I can be passionate here. So what we have to do is try and get all three of these things to happen so that you get your entrepreneurial sweet spot. It's important to know that we're not going out to the edges, right? So over here in the edges, unfortunately, you only get 1 out of 3 things at the edges. So let me give you some examples. If I personally said, what is the thing that I just love the most, like super, super, super love, it's snowboarding. I freaking love going snowboarding. I have such a passion for being out on the mountain and I just love it and it's amazing. But no one's going to pay me for that. And I'm not solving a problem for anybody else by going snowboarding, right? It's just my thing. It's just my enjoyment. So up here, that's a hobby. There's no overlap with the others. For me personally, problem, I could go out and start a charity, right? And I'm just focused on a big, like I could pick a big problem like homelessness and start a charity. But for me personally, my passion is around entrepreneurship and all the things that entrepreneurship has to offer. So I'd be taking myself away from my passion, and I would also be taking myself away from budgets that I want to access, right? So it's unfortunate, but that's just the truth, right? I would be over here solving a problem, but I wouldn't be tapped into these other two. There are certain things that I could do for money that are insanely lucrative, but I wouldn't be in my passion and I wouldn't be solving a massive problem. I could go into the corporate consulting world and I could do this nonsense whereby I go in as like a troubleshooter for corporate and I say all the right things and they pay me the big budgets. Nothing actually changes. Nothing actually happens. I earn, 10, 20, 30,000 a day and, and they're like all blown away and I'm out there getting paid. But it's not my passion and it's not really solving a problem, right? It's just kind of that fruitless, high-paid stuff. So for me personally, I have to make compromises and I have to say, okay, where do these three things overlap? So I really want you to know that what we're looking for is not something that feels extreme. It's something that feels holistic, right? There's a different feeling. So we're looking for those three things to overlap. The first one we're going to explore is passion. So how does passion come out to play? Passion comes out to play through alignment of your origin, mission, and vision. So when your origin, mission, and vision are aligned, that is where we call you a passionate person. So if ever you've met someone who's passionate, they have this feeling of alignment about them, right? That they're in alignment with themselves. And when they express themselves, they can tell you, this is my background that I'm really passionate about. This is some of the things that happened in my past. These are some of the things that I want to see happen in the future. And this is what I'm up to right now in this moment. This is what I'm getting done. And those things sound really aligned. And the classic example that I love to use is Batman, right? Batman can say, when I was age 10, I was the victim of crime. I have a vision for Gotham City free from crime. And I know how to strike fear in the heart of baddies. That's my mission. So the origin story, the mission, and the vision are in alignment, which is why we dig Batman. That's why Batman is such an enduring character that we can, even though it's such a weird character, we get behind Batman because we understand the origin, mission, and vision. So here's the thing. We need to do that for you. When people talk to you, we need to have clarity that what you're up to right now has an origin story. There are things about your background that really line up for this, like a pool cue that's about to strike a ball, right? There's this really nice straight line going right back 10, 15, 20, 30 years, 40 years into the background perhaps. And it's like, whoa, this is really lining up to strike this thing hard. where people go, oh, wow, that you're not Johnny come lately to this. You've been doing this a long time. So for example, Score App. When I talk about Score App, I talk about my origin story. I say when I was 20 years old, I went and worked for a mentor who taught me how to start businesses. The mentor on day one gave me the first lesson of business. Everything is downstream from lead generation. And he taught me how to generate leads. We created a $6 million company from scratch. I went off and started my own business and made a $10 million business by age 24. And everything came from lead generation. And then I did that across, multiple different businesses. And one of the best lead generation approaches we've ever had was before the 2010s, I did something called the Wealth Dynamics Profile with Roger Hamilton, where we scaled that up globally. And I discovered the online assessments are an incredible lead generation. I created an online assessment for my own book, Key Person of Influence. 90,000 people took it and 15 million worth of sales came in off it. So when I start talking about the background of this, and I say, hey, look, here's my backstory when it comes to this particular business, everyone goes, oh, okay, so you're not new to this. You've got a background in this. So we need to have an origin story that lines up to what we're up to right now. We need to find some really critical and important moments from the past that help get us to understand the future or where we are today and where we want to go to tomorrow. So remember this. What we're going to be trying to achieve, the Batman one, right? Batman stops baddies, Gotham City becomes free from crime. If I zoom out and give you a bit about my one, when I was a little kid, there was a house fire. Stuff got damaged. I cleaned up all that stuff and I sold it in a garage sale, and I made my first few $100s as a kid, as like a 9, 10-year-old. And I discovered entrepreneurship. And that was an amazing moment of discovery that something bad happened and I turned it into something positive and I made money. And my vision for the future is entrepreneurs solving meaningful problems, that there are bad things that happen in the world, but entrepreneurs can be solving those problems in meaningful ways. And my mission today is develop entrepreneurs who stand out, scale up, make a dent. So I can take you right back to age 10, where solving problems through entrepreneurial solutions was a big, meaningful moment. I can take you into the future where I want to see thousands of entrepreneurs solving meaningful problems. And I can take you to today where we get up and we look for ways to develop entrepreneurs who stand out, scale up, and make a dent. So that's where we get this nice little alignment situation here. So this is like what we would call a process of discovery. So if you're working in healthcare, there are moments where you discovered either someone was very disempowered because they lost their health and that had a big impact on you, or you discovered someone got re-empowered or very empowered because of their health and that had a big impact on you, right? So you want to look for these moments across the decades that have had a big impact that bring you to where you are today, right? That bring you towards the field that you're working in at the moment.